What's up, everybody? What's happening? It's your boy Damo Flips. This video right here is from my boy Lo. Yo, thank you so much for your support. Appreciate you like there's no tomorrow, man. And let me get at this question. I'm sorry it took me so long to get back with you.
That's my best friend. That's my best friend.
First of all, let me say this. In no way am I giving tax advice, all right? So the question is this. The question is, as a rep, how do you do your taxes? The answer, in short, is get a CPA. Sit down with a CPA and let them go over it with you. Because you asked, I'm gonna get into it, and this whole scenario is fictional, okay? This whole thing is fictional. Get what I'm telling you? So, as a dealer rep, okay, you probably should have an LLC. Even if it's a single member LLC, which is similar to a sole proprietorship, just get it, okay? Again, I'm not giving you advice. I'm just totally talking. I'm telling you a story here. Story time with Dave. So, anyways, get yourself the LLC. And with most bigger car dealers that do reps, they're going to 1099 you. So they're going to ask you who do you want the checks to get written out to. If there are checks to be written, you're going to say your LLC. The reason why I like to use the LLC is because it's easier to track my write-offs. Okay, anything that's business related, I use a program, an app called QuickBooks. So it's pretty simple. If I'm putting gas in a car for the dealership, not my personal vehicle, for the dealership, I like to keep my cars at least with a quarter tank of fuel, and when they get sold, I definitely like to fill them up. Now, I do drive those cars a lot because I want to make sure I sell a quality item, right? So, gas is something I'm running through with these cars. So when I get gas, I simply take a photo with the app of the receipt, and it gets put into my digital receipts, which as far as I understand, the IRS now accepts. You'll want to do your own homework here. With that being said, the program is fairly simple. Let's just say you use XYZ gas station, right? So it's going to say, for now on, when XYZ comes up, XYZ gas comes up, do you want to automatically use this as a gas receipt? And it'll put it in your Schedule C, and it'll categorize it for you every time you get gas from that station. Now, the thing to watch out for is if you're getting, let's just say you went inside, all right, and let's just say you're picking up a car and you stop at said gas station and you get food, all right? You are on a business trip. You're picking up a vehicle. Now you take that picture of the food that you got from the gas station, right? The problem is that the app is going to want to put it under fuel. So you're going to have to remember that you created the rule. You got to go into the app and change that and put it into meals. All this, again, you're going to want to hire a CPA and go over it with them. Parts for your vehicles. When you get parts, take the picture. That goes into repairs, okay? A car, anything business related, detailing supplies, getting the car detailed, anything that has to do with the business, meals, business lunches, marketing, advertising, all that stuff goes in there. You are legitimately running a business. You are a 1099 of this larger dealership, and you're running a business, okay? So with that being said, don't commingle your funds. Try to keep your personal away from your business. Just makes it easier. Another thing too, like where I'm at, it's difficult because they don't necessarily give me a 1099 in the mail. So the way I have it set up there is everyone who's a rep gets a sale. So in Wayne Reeves, it has a drop-down box for your salesman. Whoever owns the vehicle gets the salesman title. So let's just say Joe Schmo is selling a car for me, okay? In the salesman, he doesn't put his name, he puts my name. So this way, at the end of the year, the end of the quarter, whatever, you could run what's called a report. And you put your start and your ending, and you'll run the report for that salesman. Let's just say me. So it'll come up and it'll say, you sold this many cars in this amount of time. Your grand total was this amount, okay? We don't care about the grand total because the grand total includes the $200 fee for selling a car that I get charged. It includes the taxes and the registration. So that's the grand total. What you want to look at is just the selling price. The selling price is just what I'm concerned with, because everything other than the selling price goes to the dealership or as taxes or whatever. So then I'll spit that number out and I'll print it out and I'll hand that to my accountant with my my PDF from QuickBooks, and they'll quickly go through everything. They'll look at my schedule, see, make sure everything's right. Basically, crossing the T's and dotting the I's. And that's just what they do. This year, for instance, I ended up spending like $1,000 with my accountant. When you're looking for an accountant, make sure you get an accountant that knows the car industry. Because a lot of times you'll get these rinky-dink accountants and they don't know, they might specialize in 9-to-5 people. They might specialize in construction. If you look around for someone who knows about the used car game, then they're familiar with a lot more of your deductions and stuff like that. Another thing I found, I thought going with a seasoned accountant would be better. After dealing 2 years ago with a seasoned and elderly accountant, I realized that I knew more about the deductions than they did. So what I wanted to do was get an accountant that had their finger on the pulse of tax law. Tax laws are probably going to always change every time the administration changes. Trump wanted to do one thing, Biden wants to do another. So you want someone who is on top of that, okay? You want someone that knows their business, especially for cars, for buying and selling cars. We have inventory that carries over. You need someone who knows how to handle that. And again, that's all between you and your accountant. The best piece of advice I'm going to give you here right now is, I think they did just extend the deadline, so that might not be good, but let's just say July, when accountants aren't as busy. Like car dealers are busy right now because of tax returns. What I would do is call a bunch of accountants in my area, see who specializes in used car dealers, and see if they have a free 1-hour consultation, or see what it costs to buy 1 hour of their time. Have a bunch of questions. Start looking at used car tax videos and just write a bunch of things down and figure it out, okay? So this way, when you go in there, because you're paying for this hour, right? So when you go in there, you already have your questions. You're writing everything that they say down. Record the conversation so you can revisit it later, because taxes is seriously one thing you don't want to fuck around with. I joke around and do a lot of shit. When it comes to Uncle Sam, kill that noise. Kill that noise right now. I don't want to play. Playtime is over. Let's be serious right now. That's how I handle that type of thing. And that's it, man. Seriously, it's not as crazy as people want to make it out to be. Seriously, everyone in my circle gets a check. I'm not going to do business with you if you cannot accept a check. Preferably, you're a business, all right? If you're a shade tree mechanic, you have two options right now. Number one, I can write you a check if you have an LLC. I'm fine with that. What you do with your taxes is your concern, not mine. Don't make your problems mine. I won't make mine yours, except if I'm paying you for it like a blown motor. Then, hey, my problem is your problem. So, with that being said, right down to the guys that detail cars for me. If they have an LLC, then I can write them a check. And I don't have to 1099 them. Okay? If they're a business, I do, like when I get my parts from Advanced Auto Parts or O'Reilly's, I don't need to 1099 them because I just wrote them a check, or I put it on my business credit card, or I use my business ATM card. It's all factored in there, okay? But when Joe Schmo's gas station detail shop charges me $50 and tells me, hey, you got to pay me in cash, every time I pay cash without setting off, red flags, I take that loss twice, okay? So I just paid someone cash, so that's $50 out of my pocket. I also can't write off that $50 on my taxes because I paid in cash. Now, sure, they're gonna hand me a receipt, right? But in my opinion, and again, this is just my opinion, totally fictional. You're gonna want to talk to an accountant about this, but for someone like myself who doesn't want the headaches, I would rather take that L. I'll pay the man in cash or the female in cash. I don't need a receipt because I'm not going to submit the receipt. And that's just the way it is. I just won't do business with them any longer. If it's someone that we've been doing business for a long time, if I have a mobile detailer and they come along, I'm like, hey, listen, I like the way you do your stuff. You know, I don't mind paying you $100 because you knock out the car. It's nice. I can take the pictures. Everything's good. If you want me to continue to use you, I need to be able to 1099 you at the end of the year. In that situation, that's fine, because then they'll accept a check from me to them personally, or I could Zelle them or Cash App them. Really and truly, I try to only write check or pay by credit card or Zelle. Those are the only three things I like to do. Have I used Cash App before? Yes, I have. Is it one of my favorite things to do? No, not at all. Zelle is every bank, and at this point, if someone doesn't really have a bank account, like they're hiding stuff, I don't know that I want to do business with them anyway. Personal preference. But anyway, as long as they're good accepting a 1099 and they're good filling out the 1099 information every year, I will continue to let them do all the work that they want to do, all the work that they can handle. Because it gets to a point where if it's, and again, find out for yourself, but if it's over $600, you're supposed to report that money. You know what I mean? So if you're washing my cars, you're charging me $100 a car. Once you hit that sixth car, I need to report that as your income, and it comes from my business, so I get that as a write-off. So, you know, and these are things truly that you're each and every one of you, this video is for low, but for each and every one of you guys, you'll want to figure it out for yourself and do what works best for you and your accountant. But again, you know, if you're paying someone in cash, because cash is king, you know, that's just the nature of the beast. You're going to take that L or you're going to try to write it off with probably a handwritten receipt from some bullshit name they're going to write on it, you know, and I don't know how it would go in an audit situation, and I don't want to find out. So, you know, the takeaway from this for like the third or fourth time now is get an accountant. Get a good accountant that knows their shit with the used cars and do it just like that. Get yourself an LLC and get the QuickBooks, I think it's QuickBooks, the QuickBooks app. I think I pay like $10 a month or $12 a month. I use a self-employed one. This is the cheapest one. They don't even advertise the self-employed one. I think they start with like small business. But if you keep looking, if you type in QuickBooks self-employed, it'll come up. And usually they run sales where it's like the first 3 months for half off, or they'll give you 3 months for free. It's weird shit that they do. But anyways, you could do that. I think Neat Desk has another one that they use. As a matter of fact, let me see here. They'll use an app, and they got something like this here. And you can see I haven't used it in a while. They'll give you something like this here for like $250, and you could put it on your desk. And what it lets you do is you could scan in like business cards or receipts and invoices. Because if you're anything like me, a lot of times I'll put all the receipts in my pocket, and then when my girl does the laundry, she takes my receipts out and puts it in like a bin or something like that, and puts it up here in my office. And it's just sometimes faster to use something like that. Unfortunately, that doesn't work with QuickBooks, so I haven't been using it. And I'll just sit there and take a bunch of pictures with my camera phone. But that's another thing too, guys. Like you talk to your accountant, you know, using your phone for business, that's a write-off. You go and you buy a camera to take pictures of your cars. You know, potentially it's a write-off. Computers, they're a write-off. You need these things to handle your business, right? So these are all things that you're going to want to do, and these are the questions that you want for your accountant. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. I know I rambled a little bit. I'm really trying to get better at structuring the videos, but it's really difficult for someone with ADHD because, shit, you've seen the videos. Anyways, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Lo, I hope that helped you. If you have any other questions, let me know. Any of you guys that have questions, leave them in the comments. If you want like an in-depth, because I'll write back in the comments a quick reply. But if you really want me to break it down, I can. I'll get into it. It's to the best of my knowledge. If it's something I don't know, I'm not going to front. I just don't know. You know what I mean? There's a lot of other jerk offs on YouTube that will tell you whatever the fuck, but I'm not one of those guys, you know. I forget who it was. It's a new subscriber. Thank you so much. You asked me if I can show you the paperwork for a deal. What I'm going to do is, we use Wayne Reeves. I'm sure if you Google Wayne Reeves, if you YouTube Wayne Reeves, there'll be a bunch of stuff on there already. I will see. Wayne Reeves doesn't work with Apple products. Wayne Reeves only works with Windows. So I don't have a Windows machine. At the office we do. I don't know how they would feel if I started, you know, screen capturing their shit. What I could do is potentially run a test deal and print out the test deal, and, you know, maybe have the video down and I'll go over it all with you. It's called DMS software. You know what? No, let's get into it. I already started. DMS software, again, it's another write-off for you, right? If you're paying for it. You're probably not, though, as a dealer rep. Websites, that's another one. It's advertising. So I have a website. You know, I got to pay for that. It's $100 a month. But DMS software, if you're a dealership or working with a dealership that doesn't have DMS software, it's a dealer management software, DMS, then, you know, they're really behind the times. It's so easy nowadays. You can go out to the car, VIN scan it, and it populates in the software in the office, year, make, model, and all you're doing is putting in the colors, the mileage. If you go so far, that's really all you need. But if it was like when I have my own dealership, I will be putting the every single repair, every single what I paid for it, the transport, everything in there. So at the end of the year, when I do my taxes, it's going to tell me my profit and loss margin on each car and overall, which again makes the accountant's job a lot easier, which hopefully makes my bill a lot less. With that being said, so the car information is already in there. You have a buyer. You're basically just going to take their license, take the information off their license, boop, boop, boop. It would be nice if we get like the bars and just scan it and everything auto-populates, but I don't think we're there yet with any DMS software, but that would be nice. So if you're Wayne Reeves or Frazier or whatever, think about that shit. That's worth $100 a month in of itself. Not having to have to type anything in, just scan it and all their shit pops up. And it basically just fills in the blanks for you. So you're gonna type it in there one time. I turn the screen, I'm like, hey, does this look right? Make sure the address is right, everything's right. Yes, it's right. I hit go to print screen, and it prints out all the papers that the state of Florida needs. Copies for the dealership and copies for them. So it's really nice. If I can do a video screen capturing it, then I definitely will for you guys. If not, I'll at least go over the paperwork. But yeah, that's really it, man. I hope this was helpful. If you want to talk more, you got my email address. By all means, you know, drop me a line. I'll give you my phone number. We can chop it up. If you're doing your thing already, thank you. I wish you so much success. If you're not, what are you waiting for? You know what I mean? You already know. You already know my style, man. It's just, you know, I like to think of myself as an individual that I'm just gonna grab life by the horns, you know, the bull by the horns, and we're just gonna, you know, we're gonna dump it out. You know, that's it. You know, when it comes to car sales or anything, just anything for that matter, you know, you just fight or flight. And let's be honest, I'm too fat to run. So you know, we're gonna have to get it on. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I appreciate the shit out of you guys. You have no idea. I gotta go. I'm sorry. I hope the fan in the AC isn't messing up the video too much. I got one of those fuzzy things on the microphone. I don't know if it's working or not. I don't know too much about this stuff, man. Anyways, I'm out. Guys, thank you so much. Appreciate each and every one of you guys.
That's my best friend.